Now at this point, I'm kind of, I feel like, I don't know, I just kind of feel like it's lost momentum at this point. I'm not kind of sort of really, I'm trying to like, whatever, so he does this whole little thing where he wants to remember pelvic crotch area. He wants to remember that. He does something like that or whatever. Um, and then let me try to whatchamacallit. So there, he's taking her to a memory where she should exist. So it's when he's like 4 years old or whatever. He's like, oh man, it's crazy how strong this desire is. So I just want her to pick me up. And so he starts like whining or whatever. She's like, yo, Jolie, like, look, I'm here, we're good. We just got waited out until morning or whatever, something like that. So, mind you, she's not supposed to be in this memory. And then she was like, hey, look, I'm here, this and that third. And she eventually like gets under the table with him. Like this whole little thing, like there's this thing with like size reference. Like either he's a kid or he's a small adult, like small as in stature. Like he's just like shrunken. Then she like gets under the table and she's with them. He's like, hey, I thought I came to we was gonna have some drinks or whatever, like Patrick. And then so he's like, hey, that Patrick guy's impersonating me. He's trying to like say and do whatever I had said and done and like all that type of stuff. He's trying to be him. And so there's that. Cause like while I talk, like so then it cuts like her driving, cause they were at the little frozen lake place, and then she's like, we gotta go, cause he says exactly what Joel has said. And then she feels like she's watching while she's wiping the screen. He's like, yo, you're okay, this, that, third. Then he says, you're this and you're that and you're this and you're that and nice. She's like, what? So you know the whole thing with nice in the beginning. So there's that, and then let me see. It cuts back to like the baby Joel. So her and baby Joel are he's like, yeah, I like taking a bath. I like getting a bath in the sink. It's so secure, whatever he says. But of course, Stan and Mary are with his body as he's supposed to be under with the machine and just like as they're erasing the memories or whatever. And then mind you, so it's like there's this slow progression of like with Stan and Mary. Eventually at one point both of them are like, shirts off, pants off, and then now they're in a chair. They done did the deed, right? So they're just laying there, and then he hears like a doo 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 doo. He was like, "What? What's going?" Like he's like, "It stopped. It stopped erasing his memory." So he was like, "Oh shoot!" He was like, "This is not supposed to happen." So it stopped erasing his memory, and then so then he's like trying to get it back on, and he was like, "Okay, well, um, I'm looking." He's like, "I don't know." He's off the map. Like so, like with every memory, they're trying to erase all the memories, and that have her in it, and but now apparently, like he's in, like some of the stuff that they're saying is popping up in like the memories and the dreams, and so basically the thing was to take her, the memory of her, to memories that she's not supposed to be in. So he's like, yo, they're off the map. And he's like, it seems like he's built up some type of like resistance to the procedure or whatever. Like, so he's taking her to different parts and different memories that she's not supposed to be in. Or like they're together and he's like, yo, we gotta run. We just had a third, so we're trying to run. So Stan like, all right, I don't know what happened, this and a third. So, and like it just stopped. He's like, he's not on the map, this and third. So he calls Howard. Howard is their boss. So calls the boss and he's like, yeah, he's like, well, where's Patrick? He's like, Patrick had to go home early because he's sick. And then he was like, oh, okay, and then this and that third. So then the boss is like, all right, well, I'm on the way. So Stan tries to get Mary to leave, but Mary's like, I'm stoned. I'm stoned on this and that third. So he keep trying to like get her to like basically like sober up or like at least act a certain way because it's like, yo, Howard's coming. Well, she's the one who made the suggestion to call Howard. And then he was like, whoa, I don't think. And he was like, you don't know what to do. And he's like, I don't know what to do. And he's like, yeah, you don't know what to do. So what are you supposed to do? I don't know what to do. That, okay. And so that's another thing. So then she calls, gets Howard to come. So Howard's going to come. And then what happens after Howard comes? So, of course, she's talking. She's not saying something too crazy, but she was like, oh yeah, I just wanted to see the procedure, the inner workings of the procedure and closer to the work that, my coworkers, my colleagues, my peers do the work that, we do at the office. I'm just trying to, so she's just like talking like that. And he's like, okay. And so she's still stoned, you know. And then the guy, he's like, well, he starts to get to the machine. He's like, well, did you go to the Seagate? And it's like third. He's like, yeah, of course, yeah, of course. Yes, I did. Yeah, I did. So he's trying to like make sure he's still sober and talk to him straight. So then Howard opens his laptop up and he does whatever. He's like, all right, I'm going to try to do this or whatever. Eventually, at some point, he's able to figure out what's going on with him. He's like, you can run, but you can't hide. He figures out like whatever he's doing. Like, so even if he goes off the map, he's able to find him. He's like, I'm able to find him relatively quickly, but you know what I'm saying, third. And then there does come a point where like Joel Barish, which is Jim Carrey, like his eyes open. He's like, his eyes are open. What are we? What is going on here? And then so he's like, I gotta hit him with the, psh. And then like they inject him with something, and then like this little tear sheds, and he's like, shh. But he's still kind of sort of like sleeping in a little dream or whatever. Then he takes her to, so basically he's taking her to memories that she shouldn't be in. And then I'm trying to remember what the other, this next little memory was. Oh, she says, okay, take me to a time. Now, they did have a conversation in which, she was like, you should, like, you don't tell me things, right? She's like, you don't tell me things. And he was like, constantly talking isn't necessarily communicated. Like, he says that or whatever. He was like, it's just boring. It's nothing really interesting or whatever. So, like, this is one of those, like, sentimental is not the right word, but he goes and she was like, okay, well, take me to a memory that's, like, embarrassing for you or humiliating. And so he's like, now, mind you, whenever it shows, like the adult version of him, kind of, sort of. But anyway, he, like, in his hand are his journal, his notes or whatever. But it was like the humiliating point. He was like, well, as if he had a magazine with some pictures of pretty women. That's what he should be looking at this moment. Like, so she said, bring me to a humiliating, embarrassing moment. He's like, yeah, And then the mom walks in and she was like, yeah, I'll just ask you in the morning. And then but she's there. Clementine is there in the memory, and she starts laughing and this and that third. Then she says another memory, and then it goes to like he was a kid. Now they do something with this like squirrel, and it's like a hammer, and there's like peer pressure, and just and then he like walks away. Like, I don't know if you ever know, like, if you got a kid, like as a kid they could joke you if you got a girlfriend or not. It just depends. Like having a girlfriend, you could be joked or not, type of thing. But Clementine is there. It's supposed to be like a young girl though. And then they like walk off, and I guess one of the guys was like a bully, but he's still like whatever. So there's that, and then it's like him. It's supposed to be like him as a kid. I guess he had a girlfriend, and however things went, I don't know. But that was supposed to be like another memory that he took her to, because Howard's about to leave, and he was like, he's off the map again, and he basically done took her Clementine to a memory that she's not supposed to be in, because so like he's still trying to keep the memory of her, but in order to do that, he has to take her to certain different other stuff. So like, there's that. And the only other thought I was thinking about was the fact that like this is a movie I never really heard of, right? But it's like watching it is like it has a vibe. It came out in 2004. It came out in 2004, so it has a vibe of like it's not like it feels like this super old movie, but it's like, well, why would this movie ever make it to theaters or not and stuff. So as I'm watching it, I could see like why, like yeah, it never would make it to theaters or something like that. But it's a Jim Carrey movie, and so far I like it. But I don't know if like I told you, like there was at one point I'm like I got a little uncomfortable, um, but like personally uncomfortable, like because like some of the topics explored and stuff like that, like with cheating and how it comes about and certain conversations, like that's what made me come uncomfortable about it. And so I'm not sure like how good of a movie it really is, like you know uh, not sure if everybody can relate to everything, but like certain stuff are like really something like can trigger a memory. It's like, oh, like I remember this happening. Like when he went and got like they had went to a place, and then he goes back to get the gift or whatever, and all this is centered around Valentine's Day and shit. So um, it's there's like just certain stuff happening, and it's like, oh, I'm not sure like how good of a movie this is. Like if I would recommend this to somebody, but it's definitely like it's definitely a thing. And then like I said before, like her cheating and then catching feelings for the person that she was cheating with, or even if that was a thing or not, and then like the person that she's cheating with is trying to like the person that she's cheating with is trying to like be him, and it was just like this whole shit is weird. So I'm not sure how good of a movie it is, but it's based off how I'm like thinking about certain things. Um, but like you gotta recommend it. Would you recommend it? And like I feel like it's a decent movie. It's like the first 45 minutes or so is like pretty like it's taking turns. Like you're not no sure what's going on. But now it's kind of slowing down, and I kind of get the vibe and the feel for it. It's like at first it was like every 10 minutes there was like this little plot twist or something changing happening. Right now it's kind of slowed down, like, and it's kind of like dragging out a little bit. But the thing of right now is he's taking her to different memories and parts of him that he did not, that she wanted to know, or she wanted to know more about him and things like that. So that's where it's at now.